Hello everybody and welcome back here on Eiersholt. It's still mid-spring. We had an awful lot of field work going on last time. That's all been completed. We got some fields fertilized with the sprayer. And this morning I'm just finishing off the animal routines, and part of that was to get some extra straw into the feed mixer here, although we have 300,000 litres of TMR, so all in all it's not too bad. The main task today is going to be all about our grass fields. We're finally going to get that Jaguar out and running. I'm down to just over 100,000 euros. I went ahead and I bought a second forage wagon. So the idea is that we'll try and get 2 tractors running to the grass field while the Jaguar is filling them. Just got to put this trailer back in here. In fact, let's take it over to the garage instead. I've made a little bit of space over here. I'm starting to think that now that we've got the Jaguar coming in and everything like that, might also soon be time for a little bit of a reshuffle of what's being kept where around the farm. Might need to start making better use of some of the shed space, although we still have plenty of space in general. But all the things in this shed here, they are generally being used by the pickup here, so we'll keep them there. But I'm going to head straight over to the tractor shed. I'm going to get our 6i out to run the slightly smaller Bergman forage wagon we got there. Now get one of the T7s to run the larger Fendt forage wagon. And then we need the other T7 to start compacting silage. So I'm going to try some Courseplay today. Now, I know that theoretically you can get Courseplay to drive right up and unload and everything like that. I'm not going to try and go quite as drastic as that straight away. Instead, I've created a little kind of loop route that should take the tractor from the field up to here, and I kind of put a point down there that I think it should manage to stop at. Then I will manually unload it into the pit and then send it going back. So I don't know how well it's all going to work out. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get both tractors kind of down and going. Maybe I can get this one started following, because I could use Follow Me to follow the Jaguar moving around the field while I head up and get the T7 ready to go as well. There's obviously always the risk that they might collide with cars on the road and stuff like that, so this could turn into total carnage, but we'll definitely get some grass cut today. So the reason I'm not using the 8R is I've got that sitting on standby basically for putting slurry on. So once this field here is cut, if I can just remember to turn into it, I did a little trial cut around, but so we are starting now. It's just to make sure I had Courseplay working for at least for the worker here. But yeah, there's not going to be necessarily a humongous amount of grass here because it's still early days, but we want to get the lime and another layer of fertilizer down in this field. So the idea is that as soon as this is getting close to being done, we are going to get the Titan down, spread that lime, and then we're going to run some slurry over it as well. So the big question is, I'll just have to bring up a help screen now because I want to go Follow Me. And then I want to move it. How did that work? Wait. So can I see? So we basically want the distance to be quite close, like that. And then we want it to be offset 3 meters. Oh no, that's to the right. We want to be to the left, like that. I don't know if you can see the text there. So in theory, he should now be following what's hopefully in something manageable by the Jaguar here. So first we'll get the pipe out. You should find that target. There was a tiny bit left there, so that's good. And then we just need to get the Jaguar course loaded. And then we'll see. The one thing I'm not sure about is whether follow me will stop when it's full. I think the Courseplay should do that. So we can hide the help screen again and set this to drive the course. Now I'll be interested to see how this all pans out. Well, so far that's not looking quite right. So let's go back in here and see about bring this help screen back up again. So we're gonna reduce the offset. Maybe it should be a right hand offset after all, like that. And like that maybe. Well, first if I just drive up a little bit like that, and then try now, but change the offset over to the left again, 3-4 meters, and then actually try and set it to an ahead distance instead. And so that if I drive up a little bit like this, now hit, no, there, no, it's not wanting to do it for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but that's fine. We'll simply follow him around for now, and then what we'll try and do is we'll use the Courseplay route that I established to send this tractor up while the next one is coming down. That's okay. I don't mind following it around here. We actually get to see a little bit of the Jaguar in action here. I have to be a bit careful under the trees here. I hope we don't hit any branches. No, we're good. So it looks like follow me doesn't really want to play together with a Courseplay driver perhaps, but oh well, you live and learn. But we're getting our first crossing. I've been thinking about, we've got quite a bit of straw, of hay still sitting in the drying plant, and so I think we'll focus this first cut on silage. Try and get the clamp. I tidied up one of the silage clamps so that's completely empty now and ready to receive all the grass that's coming in. But as you can see, we've done quite a bit of a lap already, and we're still only sort of quarter full on the smaller of our forage wagons here. So I don't know how many loads we're actually going to get out of this. We do have one more field to do, down on the other side of the water, field 50 at least. And then the question is whether we do field 30 as well. But the primary jobs for today will be to get those two fields cut, and to get this one covered in lime, and to get some fertilizer onto both of the fields ideally. I'm getting a little bit ahead of the Jaguar here again. I should probably fall back a bit. So it's still cold. It's only 2 degrees here in mid-spring. The ground temperature is only 2 degrees. We got the potatoes planted in the last episode, but even they need 5 degrees to germinate. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping we're going to be okay. We do, if we had free tractors, which we're not really going to do this episode, so it'll probably be in the next one, that we're going to get the millet seeded down in field 47, which is one of our new fields as well. But so we'll have to wait and see, because we have this job on our hands mainly today. This is the primary task, and we better get on with it. So we're coming up to the road to the farm, so although this one isn't entirely full, I'm going to stop it here because I now want to see if I can get our course up. Now ideally, of course, we would have had the other tractor here already, but we're going to load here. We want him to stop at the next trigger. He should drive the course starting it at the first waypoint, which is right here next to the Jaguar. And so now we should see the 6R starting to head up to the farm by itself, although the Jaguar is obviously desperately trying to keep pushing grass into it. He should stop and wait there. So that's good. We have a 6R on the way up, and so I'm gonna go and get one of the T7s ready and pick up the other forage wagon so we can get down and carry on with the operation with our second forage wagon. So we got the T7 heading down to the field now, and I think I can see the 6R coming up to the farm just now, so that's not too bad, not too much of a delay having him waiting. So the next bit will be to see if I got it right in terms of the stopping at the next at the point that I created in front of the silage camp. If not, I'll have to try and recreate the course or simply run it in manual for now. But better get some flashers on here. We are after all out on the road, and we're in a bit of a hurry to get down and collect some more grass because we've got a driver sitting waiting for us here. And we're off. So obviously there's a bit more room in this one, so that should be fine. Just see if I can get the auto. Excellent. So the our 6R has now reached the point. So although I would like to be able to keep this one running, we're just going to hop up and see how that is going. So here's our 6R. He has stopped as instructed, and of course in an ideal world we would have figured out how to do everything automatically, but I'm actually quite pleased even if we can just get him to drive up here automatically and then drive back down again to the field, and then obviously we can do the same with the T7, and that's already going to start helping operations quite a bit. In the ideal world, I would have been able to use the follow me, so that bit on the field. I think Courseplay can do that bit as well, but I don't know. I've never figured out everything about Courseplay. I've seen a lot of people that seem to have difficulties with, in particular, with silage. So I'm just going to drive up a little bit past the point here, and then I think if we set him to drive the course, he should now be heading back down to the field, so we can get back to the T7 and get that one filled up. It's definitely already a help having two forage wagons, although it obviously did cost quite a bit of money. So we're down to about 100,000, and we still have a lot of cost to go out on some more liquid fertilizer, although hopefully we can now use some of our slurry here on the grass fields, and obviously also some herbicide. I assume we're going to start seeing weeds once the ground temperature gets up a little bit higher as well. Right, so I got a message that the 6R had reached the so this time instead I think I'm just going to say continue and then see maybe I've created this route a bit too close. Let's see if I put this on. There's a curve here that he ought to be able to follow around. I don't know if something is a bit too close, so if I now set him to drive that, this should now, and we want to stop at the next trigger so that when he gets down to the field, oops, went through a building there, when he gets down to the field, he should now be stopping there this time. I think maybe he's done full loop because I forgot to change that trigger, but yeah, I'm still learning when it comes to Courseplay. Yeah, here's the 6R coming down the road. I don't know if you could see it in between the trees there, but traffic's freaking out a little bit because we're working here in the field, but I think that should clear up and we should see the 6R coming in shortly. If we just have a look back here, see if the cars move off in a little while, that should allow the tractor to come into the field. Although he's looking at a bit of a funny angle there. Actually, let's just stop and go and check because this doesn't look too good. Oh dear. Yeah. Sorry, he's in training. So I think we'll take the T7 around the field again, but then irrespective of whether he's 100% full or not, we'll try and get that tractor on the route as well and see if we can get things running a little bit smoother. Like I said, I'm not an expert at Courseplay, and I spent most of my farming simulator time basically doing the recordings, editing, and doing the roleplay series that I still run on FS17. So I don't have a huge amount of time to sort of sit down and really work through every permutation. I would love to, but yeah, that's the reality of doing this as a hobby and basically just for fun. So that's the T7 completely full to the rim, 42,000 litres. So now we've got to try and see if we can get the same course loaded up here. Field 27 to grass stump. I'll drive it up a little bit closer to the entrance, and then I'll make sure that we got the stop set at the next trigger, and we'll start the course at basically, well, the next closest waypoint I guess should work right here as well. And make sure we activate stopping. Let's see if that works. I'll hop out because I gotta get over into the 6R so we can keep grass moving here basically. Right, so I decided to check back, and although I told him to stop at the last point and the next trigger, I don't know whether I should have done that before I started the drive. I think I did it afterwards because I've just realized that the T7 is on its way back to the field with a full load. So now I'm gonna try and say stop and then drive the course back to the farm and then see if that's going to work. He is obviously only going at 12 miles an hour, but I think that's actually okay. So we're actually getting more grass out of this field than I thought. And to begin with, it looked like it wasn't really yielding an awful lot, but actually this Jaguar is chewing through it, and obviously I just got to remind myself that it's not a swath we're picking up, so it's a slightly narrower cut than the full butterfly mowers, obviously. So we have quite a few rounds, and this is the Bergman trailer's second load, pretty much full now. So we'll get that one going on the way up to the farm as well, so we can get some loads into the clamp. Right, that's the T7 once again on his way out of the farm, still with a full load. I have no idea what's going on here. He's just completely ignoring the point on it. It's gone back to deactivated. I'm confused. Could have sworn that the last we checked in, we set that to be activated to stop at last point the next trigger. But we'll get this down, get it unloaded. It'll be a little bit faster as well. The 6R is on its way up, so we'll get this one unloaded and turned around on the course and moved on to, and then we'll see if we've got enough time to get the twin tires, or at least the T7 down to the workshop and start getting the twin tires mounted on it. Yeah, so it's not a flawless operation, but it's still kind of working. And right, so this time make sure we have stop at the next point activated and drive the course. So he should now be heading down, hopefully, and hopefully they're not going to collide. They should be on opposite sides of the road, so that should be okay. It'll take a little while before the 6R is here. He looks like he's going the right way, getting over on the right side of the road now. So I'll head down and get the other T7 down to the workshop. Let's see if we can do this fantastic thing where we just snap our fingers and things magically change. And voila! And at the same time, the 6R has reached the pit. So as we head over, actually, probably need to take the weight off, drop it over here behind the shed on the way down, because we've got the roller and the blade to mount on it, so there's no point in bringing a weight over when it can sit here in our little corner where we usually drop these weights. But we should be finding a 6R sitting down by the pit when we get over there. And there it is. So that's good to see. Some parts of it does seem to... I don't know why the T7 seemed to just not want to take it up. I'm pretty sure it's me messing things up rather than Courseplay. It's probably got far more control over this game than I do. That's our third load. So before we set the driver going, we will ask it to stop. A little bit here past the waiting point and tell it to drive the course, and then we'll see how the T7's getting on. Perfect timing. The T7 is pulling in right now, so we can get back to it. Our worker in the Jaguar will have had a time for a snack just now, and we can get on with collecting some more grass. Right. I had to look up a little bit more about Courseplay, thinking, can this really be it? But I learned something. Found something called combi courses, which apparently should allow the driver here to come in and find a combine or harvester and unload. But right now I'm really not quite sure whether it's going to work, but at least going to give him the benefit of the doubt. The T7 is on its way up with a half load after I tried, but it actually looks like we now have the tractor automatically loading and then we'll have to see whether it works when he gets to the other end. And the problem is, I realize now that I have this as deactivated, so we'll see what happens. I'll be interested to see. We'll keep an eye on it, but at least it looks like I'm saving a little bit of time here. He is following and collecting automatically. The T7 is on its way up. Like I said, it's only got about half load. That's because I was faffing around with the courses and telling it to drive and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, we can also start leveling off a bit. T7 looks like it has either hit some traffic or something. The 6R has gotten stuck in a tree. Oh no, and now I set the wrong one to... So let's see. You wait there. This is interesting now. I'm not sure whether I'm actually saving any time, because now we are completely stuck around a tree here instead. I'm not going to go down and look at the 6R because it was looking pretty chaotic, and right now I want to be able to focus on getting some of this leveling done in here as well. So we'll unfold the roller to begin with, and just start trying to get some of the worst peaks taken off here. Getting the 6R to follow this combine. He seems to be doing some very curious maneuvers, generally speaking. So I don't know whether we should maybe just stick to... we'll try it one more time. See if we can... Maybe he's going to head around now and go out of the field. I really don't know. He seems to be liking this tree a lot. Doing some turns, maybe just looking for where the combine is, locating it. Oh, yeah, it looks like it should be back on track. I'm sorry, I feel like I should probably have figured all of this out before recording a video, but like I said, I tend to spend most of my time actually either doing the recording, editing and such like. But we can see that T7 has arrived back in the field as well. He has been told to wait there. Tell you what, we'll tell this guy to drive back, and we will get this one to continue and see if he can maybe figure out where the combine is instead. I'm not sure what's going on here anymore. We'll leave the T7 here, and we'll pick up manual control of this 6R here and get it properly filled instead, and then we'll set it running back up towards the farm, and we'll try and do a little bit of the Silage clamp work. So we'll just forget about the following the forage harvester. It worked for about one strip, and then things kind of stopped working. So that's okay. It was worth an experiment at least. So while there's obviously a lot of grass work going on today, we also need to get milk delivered. Once again, we have a fairly decent amount here, so we're just going to get the truck backed up. I don't think it's going to be in the way of anything here, too much at least. And we got 21,000 litres of milk to get loaded in, so that'll bring us a good deal of extra income. Just as we are crossing the road here, in here on the right is a relatively small field, 50 here. That is our second grass field that we do want to try and get cut today. However, we are already up till 3:30 in the afternoon. There's not much left over on the other field to do, to be honest, so I'm hoping that even if it means going quite late into the night, we'll be able to get both of those fields cut. I think we're going to leave the field closer to the farm. We'll leave it either till later in spring or early summer, and maybe we'll just make some hay from that one instead. Come on, little girl. So we're here, just backing up so we can pump the milk out and see how the price is today. So the price for milk was very, very good today. 73,000. That's three and a bit euro per litre. That's a very good price. If only dairy farmers in real life earned that much per litre of milk, the world would probably be a better place. So as we can see, there's not an awful lot left here on the field down by the lake. The Jaguar has definitely proven its worth already. It's been a really good investment, and it's just going to be a little bit of awkward turns here on the last bit of the route, but I think we can manage that. We obviously just got a healthy dose of money coming in from the milk, so now the cows are finally starting to turn profitable, which is good because basically all the work we're doing right now is obviously to be able to continue feeding our cows. So we now have both tractors heading back up to the farm so we can get this grass unloaded. In the meantime, we'll try and get the Jaguar moved over to field 50. It's going to be a little bit dicey with such a wide cut on the road, but we'll take the chance. It shifts at quite a speed actually, this machine as well. So obviously this is the narrow bit where there isn't much room to move out of the way if we do come across an oncoming car here. Yep, we made it. We are into field 50 right here. But obviously we just got to wait for things to get ready and come down to the field. So Case Titan 3540 here is still full of lime from our last attempt at getting lime spread on that grass field, until we realized that it had grown so much that it needed harvesting, and then we can't put lime on it. That's how it works, at least with seasons. But now we should be able to. So, second attempt at putting lime down is underway, and as we get a little bit laid down here, I'm just going to have a quick check on the map to ensure that things are actually working this time around. And as you can see here on field 27 with the DataLund Courseplay, it's now actually creating a strip behind it where lime is no longer needed. So we're getting it fixed now. And that is our grass cut on field 50 underway as well. So I wouldn't expect this one to be yielding significantly more than the other one, but nonetheless, we're getting a decent enough pile into the silage clamp. But with another load of grass work underway, we've been doing a lot of that. We've been experimenting a bit with Courseplay. Yeah, I'm definitely not an expert at it, that's for sure. If you have suggestions, drop a comment, but I think it's okay. I mean, Courseplay is helping us shift tractors around, and it's obviously helping insofar as the Jaguar is driving on Courseplay here as well, so that we can follow it rather than having to try and follow a rather erratic sort of default worker from FS19. So this is definitely better nonetheless. even if I'm not making full use of every single feature. But with a nice afternoon view of our Jaguar, not so shiny and new anymore, it's picked up a bit of dirt, but it's been working hard all day, and it will be working hard right into the evening. I'm gonna finish today's episode here, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of this first early cut and how we're getting silage in, but also that we're getting pig food ready for swapping over the pigs, and a little bit about planning to do some pellets with those leftover straw bales as well. But for now, it's thank you very much from Overcourt Gaming, and see you again soon.